There are 439 TED Talks on the subject of letting go. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but if I wanted to be the first, I had to let that go. But all great adventure starts with letting go. And today's story is about the subject of a little car forest that wanted to be the biggest. The first of its kind already resided in Texas. And it's called Cadillac Ranch, and it's beautiful, and you may have heard of it. It's 10 Cadillacs sticking out of the ground, celebrating the subject of the tail fin. There's another car forest that's up in Nebraska, and that one's got 38 cars. Remember that number? But my adventure starts in 2004 in Nevada. I drove a delivery van for the Nevada Arts Council, and I called it the best job in the world. I got to drive all over the state, a lot of downtime. So I fell in love with a strange little town called Goldfield. And I think I loved it because it's the real deal. It's true desolation. Notice my boots, I've been inspired. But it's high on a desert plain where the streets have no name and you can see those fighter planes. It's like living in a U2 album. It's like Joshua Tree. And among the Joshua trees, I saw one lone car standing. That guy right there. I think I shot this photo the day that I first saw it, and that was back in 2004. But lo and behold, when I was standing there thinking of how I want to paint this car, you'll have to go look it up if you want to see what I did on it. Johnny Appleseed of the car forest genre himself showed up. And he had a gleam in his eye when he told me what he wanted to do, which was beat the Guinness Book record for a car forest. What the hell's a car forest? He pointed at that guy right there, this car, and said, this one has brothers and sisters, and they're right over there. And he pointed at his backyard. He had 40 cars. It was a graveyard, a junkyard, 2 of which were buses. And he pointed at his backhoe, which was right over there, shiny, ready to go. And he said, with that, I'm going to bury those, and we're going to have a car forest. And I'm going to beat that record. Anybody remember? 38. Good crowd. He had 40. So I was in. I said, I'm coming back here as soon as I can. But it wasn't until 2011 when my life, which at the time was kind of a creative vision quest of sorts, I was involved in different art projects, my life sort of opened up and I was able to move down there and live next to this outlaw preacher planting cars in the ground. And I say preacher because he was your online variety of preacher. But what he preached was individuality, and he has a website called The Last Church. And he said that the last church resides right here in our hearts. I said, oh, I like this guy. So once I was moved out there, we got to talking, what are we going to call this thing? I said, we've already had international guests, so let's call it International Car Forest of the Last Church. And it was born, the International Car Forest of the Last Church. So in that year, my friend Zach moved out. We needed more muscle, like I said. So the three of us built that thing in 1 year. We took a year to do it. We worked at night like grave diggers. We had, I know the town wondered, what are they doing up there? We had spotlights, we had a backhoe, and we're kind of elevated above the town so they could all see us. But we completed it in 2012, and at that time I started a Facebook page. And it was like watching your baby grow up from afar. The updates that I got were sometimes touching how much the place had changed. And as every mother knows, you gotta let go. You gotta let go. So we did that, we let go. But that's what it was. The car forest is what it is because we let go. The people that have come out there are the ones who have made it into a famous place. We build a place, not a thing. So I've seen everything from family adventurers to graffiti artists, plenty of those, night photographers, some of the best in the world, and they shot videos, photos, drone footage like you've seen, virtual tours. I've seen bands play on the stage. There's been some sex that's happened out there, probably, I don't know. But, but August 17th was the end of the world in Goldfield. It was 2012, end of the world. Party, it was time to celebrate. We're gonna have some fun. So the newspapers were completely behind us. They publicized it. We became the most famous house party ever. Because the thing is, how many house parties have a burning bus in their front yard? Not many. And the tire from that bus, 50 feet in the air, dropped molten rubber onto the ground. And I've never seen anything like that since the days with those toys that you burn the little army toys and they make the sound when they melt. So Goldfield Fire Department loves us. But I'm only half sarcastic about that. They did actually enjoy what we were doing. But you know, he never let go of his dream of a Guinness Book record holder. But the ironic thing is, Ripley's gave us the attention, believe it or not. They did an article that just came out last year. Actually, it was pretty awesome. Huffington Post did a great article called 11 Art Destinations to See in the Country. And then another publication called Complex did one called 10 Spots for Art Lovers in the World. And so that was kind of cool. The Guggenheim Museum was another one of those in Spain. $1 trillion worth of art. So another one was Wall Street Journal, and they did a video piece on us. High Country News did an incredible cover story on us that was just beautiful. All of these cars that you're seeing, I painted, by the way. That one, I wish I could show you what that turned into. It's not pretty, so I decided not to show you. But Harper's Bazaar magazine did a story on Stella McCartney, who is the daughter of Paul. And she's a fashion designer. And Stella went out and did a fashion video that's weird. Imagine that, out at the car forest there. She put her models in the cars and did a video called Uncanny Valley. Go check that out. But I didn't feel like I made it until I saw my name on a list with David Bowie. And I'm a big fan. It was a short list of writing prompts for students that a library in Central Ohio had put out. They put it online, and the question was, the car forest in Nevada, art or junk? It was both, I don't know. But I don't mind being a pop quiz question with David Bowie, we can be heroes. So, Michael Heizer is a groundbreaking artist. And I mean that literally because he uses a backhoe too. So a little land art humor. But he's known as one of the fathers of land art. And he's got 2 sites. One is in southern Nevada, and it's called Double Negative, which is basically a slit in the ground. But where he put this slit in the ground is on a mesa, a Mormon mesa. It's absolutely beautiful. There's another place, and I'll tell you one thing about this place. It's 1.5 miles long, and it's called City, also in Nevada. Check that out. But there's another Nevadan who is, well, he's an outsider. He was an outsider. His name was Chief Rolling Mountain Thunder, and he built a place called Thunder Mountain, which is up to the west of Winnemucca. And it's the strangest, most eerie place, but it's built with windshields, car parts, buttons, and buckles. It's just the most odd. You just have to see it, but it's an environment it's stunning. It's craziness. There's another outsider, and his name is the Reverend Howard Finster. And I like him. He's fun what he does. His art is basically Bible verses. He's a reverend, and he used to sell these on pieces of wood that he sold for like $5. Well, he came to some prominence because I'm not really sure why, but I like his work, so maybe other people said the same thing. I think his stuff is worth substantially more today, but he built an environment in Goldfield, and it's called Paradise Garden, and it's being turned into a national monument, so maybe we'll have that someday as well. But these are folks that let go of proximity. They said, New York City, we don't need you. They said, the world's going to come to us. So they also let go of fitting in. They don't care, these people. And I am honored and inspired by the lineage of these outsiders and land artists that let me know what they've let go of. So I'm here to tell you that the internet has helped small towns and roadside attractions stop suffering in secrecy. And if you can let go after completion, and you can let go of expectations, and you can let go of your need to be the first, and if you can let go of old ideas of proximity, old ideas of permanence, the world is yours. But if you never let go of your Guinness Book dream, you will live the adventure and you will stand out. Thank you.